Good morning, students. This is a class for BA Part First English Literature students, and we will be doing a poem by John Donne, Go and Catch a Falling Star. We have already discussed about John Donne that he was a poet just after the age of Queen Elizabeth, and he was writing in the beginning of 17th century. He is considered as a poet of metaphysical school. uh, Metaphysical poetry was a very special kind of poetry that had certain characteristics like far-fetched images, hyperbole, lot of exaggerations, and obscurity. People found it very difficult to interpret that poem, and they tried to show their scholastic knowledge. They were all very learned poets. So all these characteristics you will find in this poem also. Go and Catch a Falling Star is a typical metaphysical lyrical love poem. It's a lyric actually. If we talk about the technical type of the poem, it's a lyric. Lyric is a poem which could be sung with the accompaniment of music, uh, and it's a love poem. But the theme is very interesting. Actually, it talks about the inconstancy of a fair and beautiful woman's love. Inconstancy means uh, not very constant, not continuous. Means the poet wants to say that a beautiful and fair woman can hardly be constant or fixed in her love. She keeps changing her partners. That is what he wants to tell in this poem. And this poem is considered to be a mischievous utterance against the fair sex, that is to say, the women. Uh, the poem is full of hyperbole and obscurity, and it abounds in far fetched images. If we talk about the summary of the poem, the poet gives a long list of impossible things and then finally tells that all these impossible things can be possible someday, but it is not possible to find a woman who is fair as well as true. So, actually, the poet's attitude towards women is criticized, but the way he has put it makes the poem an interesting reading. Uh, Let us read the poem Go and Catch a Falling Star by John Donne. Go and the first stanza gives you a long list of impossible or improbable things, and he says that these things can be possible. Go and catch a falling star. Uh, it is very difficult. क्या? It is not possible to catch a falling star. A star falling from the sky cannot be catched. You cannot catch it. So he says that it is one day it is quite possible that you will know the technique how to catch a falling star. Go and catch a falling star. It may be possible. Get with child a mandrake root. Mandrake is a plant and it bears some qualities of human virtues, like it produces sound like that of a man, and it has features which match with human organs. So he says maybe one day the mandrake root will get a child also, like human beings. They will give birth to a child also. The mandrake plant will start giving birth to children. He says, this is not possible. Any plant does not give birth to a child. But he says, maybe one day it will produce a child. Tell me. See, the poet is giving you far fetched images. In your wildest fantasy, you might not have thought about these things. You might not have ever imagined that a falling star can be caught, or a mandrake root can be found with giving birth to a child. Next is, tell me where all past years are. We just cannot tell where our time goes, where our past years go. But he says it is quite possible that one day you will be able to tell where your past years are. Means you can go and find that time. uh, or this is impossible. You cannot go back in past and relive. But he says maybe you will come to know where your past years go. Or who cleft the devil's foot in Bible. Look how from different areas the poet has chosen these impossible objects. uh, who cleft the devil's foot? Actually, this is taken from Bible. In Bible, Satan's foot, devil's foot is cleft. It is divided into two parts. जैसे जानवर का खुर होता है वैसे the devil has its foot. So he says there is no description of devil's cleft foot in Bible कि who cut it, who cleft it. But maybe one day you will come to know कि who has cleft the devil's foot. Next is, this is impossible because Bible cannot be improved now. Bible cannot be rewritten now. But still he says कि maybe you will come to know. And the next is, teach me to hear mermaids singing. Mermaid is actually mythological creatures, half man, half women, and half fish, that kind of a body. So mermaids singing. Mermaids are actually mythological creatures. We do not know whether they are real or not. Nobody has seen them. But as mythology goes, even in mythology, it is said that if you happen to see mermaids singing, you become deaf and dumb. You are not able to tell what they sing. But he says that maybe one day it will become possible to hear mermaids singing. So first of all, the improbability or impossibility is this, that there are any mermaids anywhere in the world living. When it is impossible to find mermaids, this is something very far fetched to imagine that mermaids sing, and we will learn to tell what they actually sing, what kind of songs they sing. And the next impossible thing is, or to keep off, you may be able to teach me to keep off envy's stinging. Envy is an emotion. जलन जिसको कहते हैं, jealousy, ईर्ष्या जिसको कहते हैं, it stings. डंक जैसे मारता है वैसे, sting means डंक मारना, biting pain. So it is difficult that you are feeling the emotion of envy, jealousy, and still you do not feel the stinging pain, the biting pain of its feeling. But he says maybe one day you will keep off envy's stinging. So this is impossible, but he says he maybe. And find what wind serves to advance an honest mind. Maybe one day you will find what wind, what air serves to advance an honest mind. Nobody knows how a person becomes honest. Is there any contribution of a particular kind of environment? Wind is actually environment. So, what kind of environment is needed to grow a person honest? He says, we do not know up to now. But the poet says कि maybe one day a time will come when you will be able to guess, you will be able to tell कि what kind of an environment, what kind of a wind, that is to say, an environment serves to advance. Advance means grow. What kind of an environment helps in growing an honest mind? So all these are impossible things. The poet says कि one day maybe it will become possible that all these impossible things will become possible. Now he moves forward in his list of these impossible things, and he gives you an imagery, a long imagery. You can call it conceit also. He says, if thou means you, beest means a form of be, the auxiliary verb. That is to say, st is added to it and it becomes is, am, or, was, were, any of these. So you have to decide which will be appropriate to this sentence. So he says, if you were, bs means were, if you were born to strange sights, things invisible to see, if you were born with a power to see invisible things, to see things invisible, to see invisible things. You are born with such a power that you are able to see invisible things and you are able to see strange sights, the sights which are not possible to be seen by open eyes, naked eyes. So, first imagery is that you are born with such a special power that you can see things that are invisible, and then equipped with this sight, having this power, ride 10,000 days and nights, 10,000 days and nights, almost 30 years, 25 to 30 years. You ride means you are wandering all over the world, you are roaming all over the world for almost 25 years of your 35 years of your life. Okay, कब तक? Till age show white hair on thee. You become old. Age makes you white on your head. Thou means you, when thou returnest, after all these 30 years of experiences of being able to see invisible things. Okay? So, when thou returnest, when you come back after 30 years of experiences or strange experiences, thou wilt tell me. Wilt is will. You will tell me. What? All the strange wonders that befell. Befell means happened. Thee means to you. So, whatever strange things you have seen because of your special power of observation, all the strange wonders you will tell me that happened to you, and swear. And he says, ultimately, after 30 years of experience, you will swear. After 10,000 days and nights experience, you will swear, कसम खाएंगे, nowhere lives a woman true and fair. कि on this earth, there is not a single lady who lives, is beautiful as well as honest. So, this is what he wanted to say. And the way he has said his original stance, जो बात उसे कहनी थी वो कहने के लिए, सी हाउ इम्पॉसिबल, हाउ लॉन्ग ही हैज़ गॉन, हाउ far fetched images he has brought in. And now, in the final concluding couplet, final concluding stanza, he says, if thou findest one, suppose you find one, suppose you find a lady suppose you findest one, you find one lady, then what is to be done? He says, let me know, मुझे बताना, tell me. Because he says, such a pilgrimage was sweet. Pilgrimage means going to a holy place. तीर्थ यात्रा पे जाने जैसा. तो such a pilgrimage, such a travel to reach to this lady who is beautiful as well as honest. So, going to such a lady will be no less than a pilgrimage. It will be no less than than visiting a holy place. It was sweet, and the poet says it would be very sweet to go and see such a beautiful lady who is honest also. And now there is an ironical reversal. एक बिल्कुल व्यंग्यात्मक तरीके से तुरंत फिरता है पोएट, जिसको कहते हैं अपन आयरोनिकल रिवर्सल इन पोइटिक लैंग्वेज. ही सेज येट डू नॉट मीन्स डू नॉट लेट मी नो. ऊपर जो वर्ड है लेट मी नॉट, जो फ्रेज है, वी विल एड दिस टू दिस येट डू नॉट. तो येट डू नॉट लेट मी नो, मुझे मत बताओ, डू नॉट टेल मी, वाई आई वुड नॉट गो, क्योंकि मैं जाऊंगा नहीं. आई वुड नॉट गो, दो एट द नेक्स्ट डोर वी माइट मीट. इवन इफ सच ए लेडी who is beautiful as well as honest may be found at the very next door. Maybe she is living the very next door to my door. I will not go. Why? He gives the answer, though she were true when you met her. He says that it is quite possible that she was true, she was genuine, she was honest when you met her. When you met her, जब तुम मिले होंगे, तब it is quite possible that she was true. And last till you write your letter, maybe she was true, maybe she was honest till you write your letter to me that I have found such a lady and she lives very next door. But he says, yet she will be false. It is quite possible that she will become false. Means before I come to two or three, it is quite possible that that lady will prove false. That is to say, dishonest to two people or three people. Means she will betray. It is quite possible. It is the nature of women, beautiful women, that they betray man, and it is quite possible that she has betrayed two or three people. And in this manner, the poet ends the poem. This is considered to be a very mischievous kind of utterance. It is believed that John Donne himself had many illegitimate relations, and therefore, on his experiences, maybe this bitter kind of satire was put on ladies, but he forgot that he himself was betraying many ladies. So, this is the poem, and that's it. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any problems, if you have any doubts, you can call me. You can WhatsApp me your problems. Thank you very much.